Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of Legend of Zelda Twilight Queen. Yas Queen. Now with better audio. I got the audio shit figured out. It was just going into whatever that audio program is and turning it off, basically. But yeah. Game audio's fixed now. It doesn't sound like we're going through a time warp now. And, yeah, doing this Twilight section, learning the smell of some kids, which kinda can't imagine they smell that great, considering they're younger children and they live in a fucking farming village. Probably not the best smelling children. Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't hate kids, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, kids are fucking stupid, I hate them, but, like, kids sometimes do kinda smell weird, and, like, they're a little sticky sometimes, and it's not necessarily their fault, just them being children, but I don't know. I just feel like that youth's scent wouldn't be particularly nice. So now the game is gonna take some time to explain the whole warping mechanic, because, this bridge is just gone for no particular reason. Very cleanly gone, though. Like, I have to say, the Twilight teleporting shit is a very, like, clean thing, because you would think that maybe parts of the bridge would be like chipped off or destroyed, but no, you just find it and it's all in one piece and it's totally fine, so I don't know. Yeah, so she's like, look real hard for it. You know, we gotta find this bridge. So look really hard and you can just warp right next to it. I always liked that. Good audio clips there for voice, just going chip. I mean, to be fair, sometimes I just do that for no reason, but I wonder where the bridge could be. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just like a gameplay tutorial, but it's kind of silly. Just, I guess, due to the nature of things. I suppose it's possible that somebody playing this game, like, for the first time, especially, would maybe, like, not remember that, or maybe they didn't notice the bridge, but I don't know. I mean, it's just all in one piece. I feel like it would be more rickety than that. Like, if you try to move, like, one giant bridge all on its own, that'd be some risky shit. But with the power of magic, with the power of Pine Sol, it's easy. And we return it back to Kakariko's Georg, which is an outlier and should not be counted. I feel like most people probably pronounce that, like, George without the E, just the same as George. But I always want to say Georg. I think it makes that meme funnier. Isn't the power of Twilight convenient? Hell yeah. Yeah, and another aspect of this thing, like, you can follow the scent, which is, like... I mean, like, I like this game, but I feel like the scent tracking thing is kind of a, like, a throwaway gimmick, because, like, you don't really ever need it. Like, it's kind of useful. It's probably the most useful in Snow Peak, because it's hard to see, because it's just fucking white. But, just white on white on white. But, I mean, like, here, you don't... I mean, especially if you know that you're supposed to be going to the village, then you don't need the scent. And, like, Ilia's scent, like, I guess, but I don't know. It's not a particularly engaging gameplay mechanic, I don't think. I understand why they included it. They wanted to do shit that only the wolf could do, that Link can't in his human/Hylian form, but I don't know. And I gotta love how, like, on these Shadow Beast things, like, just, there's usually one or maybe two of them that are just, like, they do not fucking care. They're just, like, off doing their own thing, and you gotta go and get them. And if you forget about them, then you gotta start the fight over. It's just like... Honestly, if I were Shadow Beast, I'd probably be one of the dudes just being like, be over here if you need me, fam. But, please don't need me. Spirit of Light talks really, really slow. I'm not, like, super consistent about it, but I try to, like, let the text just, like, scroll out as it is, because then I don't have to, like, sit there on it to, like, allow a chance for you to read it. But, like, this, you really need to speed it up, because otherwise I'd be wasting, like, entire minutes on just, like, letting all of this text scroll by at the slow speed. I don't know why they had the spirit speak slowly. I could understand it maybe if, like, it was only when they were, like, in this hurt state, like the Twilight Beast had stolen their light. But after you restore them, they still talk slow as shit. I don't really know why. I guess to be, like, all spooky and godly. But anyway, it's time for a cutscene that I, in the last 10 minutes, have started referring to in my head as the Barnes & Noble cutscene. Because Barnes is here, and then this is the Noble. Barnes is a silly man. And, like, I don't understand why he's like, just scaring the children. Like, what an asshole. I mean, I know he's being serious, but, like, dude, have you not been around children? Sometimes you gotta put on a brave face for them. Not even for children. Sometimes you have to put on a brave face for just other people in general. And Mallow, of course, just doesn't care. Mallow is like 5 years old, and he is already unconcerned with the existential crises and, like, the threat of mortality. So he's laughing. He knows what he's doing. Fucking terrorizing little children. What a jerk. Crawl like a spider. Can't say that Barnes isn't flexible, because he apparently is. I'm gonna talk about this torch thing a little bit more in a second, but someone's gotta tell me if I was alone in this. When I was a kid, I think I originally thought that Renato was a woman. Probably just because he has long hair, which is clearly only a thing that women can do. I don't know. This was back when I was in, like, 5th grade. I didn't know shit. So Colin's like, Link is gonna save us. He makes weird noises there. Yeah, Colin's like, I believe in them, and they're like, Link is gonna save us because he's our hero, and he's probably the only person from the village that could save us. Other than Russell, I guess, but he got fucked. Doomed to toil in obscurity forever. That's pretty punk rock. More shaming of Princess Zelda. Don't know why. Why you gotta be like that, Midna? Lonely little hero. Wah, wah, wah. So when I was recording this, I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be fucked up if the kids were just, like, talking shit about Link this whole time? Like, they're like, oh man, I hate that guy. He's not gonna save us. We're fucked. Like, and not knowing that he was there. Fuck Link. All my homies hate Link. So this bit with, like, the, cripes. Cripes is such a strange word. But so, you know, it's pretty classic Zelda fuckery to just, like, light torches to make shit happen. Which is pretty easily explained away if you just, like, say magic for everything. But I was trying to, earlier, I was trying to come up with a possible, like, technological explanation for how you could, or, like, a possibility of, like, if in real life you wanted to make, like, a Zelda puzzle, where you're like, if you light all the torches in this room, a door will open, or whatever. And so I was thinking, like, you could maybe, if you set up, now I don't know anything about anything, especially, like, engineering type of shit. I am but a humble, stupid, creative gay, I don't know these things. But I was thinking, like, if you could somehow have like cables that, or some sort of mechanism that would react to heat being introduced, and you'd set that up and then somehow have something trigger so that the statue would move or your door would open or whatever when they were all lit. Oh, I keep hiccuping so much, I apologize. Like, I feel like you could maybe come up with something to make that work. So, maybe it wasn't magic. Maybe Renato was just smart. Actually, you know what's more likely is that Barnes hooked it up for him because he makes bombs. And yes, I know that we've established that Barnes didn't know that beforehand in the cutscene, but whatever. Fuck that bird. These birds are fucking loud, and I don't know why they sound the way they do. Danger, don't jump across this. Thanks for watching, jackass. So, during this next section, I just sort of, like, I get the bugs. It's pretty self-explanatory, really. Lighting fires, and, like, I go up to the higher floors, or the one higher floor in this hotel just to get some money, because I'm gonna need to buy the metal shield when that becomes available here after this next temple. Or, I guess dungeon is more apt of a term. But, yeah, it's not really super engaging crap, it's just like standard gameplay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, just like a topic that came to mind when I was trying to think of shit to talk about during this video. And the thing that came to mind was the sort of like insidiousness of just like online discussion and discourse in general. Where, like, I mean, it's pretty well established at this point that people on the internet don't know what nuance is, and so it's like, it's very black or white thinking, so it's like, you're either right or you're wrong, and if you're wrong, then fuck you, you're a horrible person. And it's like, you know, obviously, if you are any amount of a rational human being, you can chalk that up to just people being angry and dumb on the internet, not applying critical thinking skills, because people love to do that. But it's, like, kind of deceptively, like, a tricky thing, because it's sort of like, there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of these situations, or, like, the way that people spin topics is like, if you don't do XYZ, or if you think XYZ, then you're like wrong, or you're bad, or you're not doing whatever right, or you're like contributing to the problem, or whatever. And it's like, from a rational point of view, you're like, well, you're ignoring like a million different complicating factors in that, and everybody comes from different perspectives and shit like that. But if you're, oh, quick interruption here. I was trying to get her to like jump me through the gap, but I was like 2 feet to the side, so she just was like bitching at me to go find the Fuse Shadow or whatever. Anyway, for me personally, and probably other people that have anxiety issues, especially around like being wrong or like pissing people off and shit like that, it's kind of dangerous, because if you don't like being wrong, or you don't like offending people even like on accident when you don't intend to, these sort of, the like echo chamber that is the internet, it kind of makes you feel bad for just like thinking or doing things even if you don't intend to do them. And since a lot of it is less about like, you know, it's not, I mean, nobody's out here being like, it's not the end of the world if you thought this, or this is an easy mistake to make, or if you don't come from such and such background, I don't know how you would ever know this, but just be informed. It's not, well, I mean, sometimes people are civil about it, but a lot of times they aren't, and they're just kind of, they just like completely shit on you if you make a mistake, or if you have a particular opinion, and then it's like, So then my personal reaction, or maybe what your reaction might be, is to be like, well, that person doesn't know me, or like, that's an easy mistake to make, or, you know, whatever, like, you know, basic understandable defenses being made of yourself or of other people. I mean, you might feel justified in that, but then there's also, like, in terms of discourse surrounding, like, discussions of, like, race and intersectionality and shit like that, when it comes to, like, social justice related things, you're like, well, am I part of the problem because I'm just, like, ignoring these criticisms, or I'm, like, dismissing them of by people just being, like, unnecessarily aggressive or hostile or whatever? Because it's like, it's sort of your responsibility as somebody who lives in a society to, you know, be conscious of other people and, to, like, learn and do better and, you know, just improve yourself as a human being just as things go along, or as time goes on. But it's like, so it becomes a thing of, like, your sense of peace versus your responsibility as, like, a fellow human being to your other fellow human beings. And so it's like, if you're turning away out of a sense of, like, okay, if I engage with this, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind or feel like shit, then you're like, well, am I part of the problem because I'm not engaging with it? Like, I'm just saying, like, I can't handle this and leaving. And, you know, for other people, they might not get hung up on that, but I feel like I get hung up on that kind of thing because I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be a good person. I don't want people to be mad at me. But, you know, it's also, like, a lot of times, it's very easy, I feel like, with discourse to reach a point where you're like, I'm going to lose my shit if I even look at this. Or, you know, like, you encounter just, like, swaths of discourse. Like, if you're on Tumblr, sometimes you just come across posts that are just, like, miles long of just bullshit text over shit that you've, like, seen people argue about for years, and you're just like, I have no patience for this. But then there's sort of that nagging thought of being like, yeah, but maybe I should, because if I don't, then I'm just ignoring it. I'm just, like, putting my head in the sand and being like, peace out, I'm not involved in this, it's not my problem. And it's like, that's easy for me to say, being, like, a white person here in America, but, like, I don't know. It's an insidious thing, being on the internet sometimes, because people just will say shit and not think about what they're saying and not care about being chill or civil about it, and then they just eschew all sense of nuance because it's simpler and they're angry. I think another part of it is that people, like, everyone, especially now in the wake of everything that's been happening in the past couple years, even the past 4 years with the fucking Trump administration, I feel like that people are just tired and angry and hurt, and when you have an echo chamber full, well, not an echo chamber, but, like, when you have a situation full of people that are tired and angry and hurt, it doesn't lead to good things, either in, like, the initial engagement with discourse versus, like, people's reactions to it. Because, you know, if you're already, like, angry and hurt or whatever, you're gonna go on the defensive. Even if you're fucking wrong. Like, because, I mean, I don't think people want to be wrong. People don't want to be, they don't want to think of themselves as a shitty person, especially if they have problems with that. You know, if you have bad self-esteem issues and then you, like, start doing better, and then people on the internet suddenly waltz into your fucking DMs or your mentions, and they're like, well, fuck you, actually, you're a shitty person because you think or you did blah, 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 and you're like, well, if I give in to that, I'm gonna, like, fall down a bunch of steps that I've climbed up to get myself out of this hole. So, fuck you, actually. And then it's like nothing useful is happening. Like, it's not a progressive conversation. It's not a growing conversation. So, I don't know. It's a tricky thing. And I avoid a lot of this shit because I don't follow people that engage in a lot of discourse for my own sake, like my sanity. But, you know, other people, again, it's easy for me to do that because I'm white and I don't, you know, a lot of those struggles don't apply directly to me, and I am concerned about them, but I also have the liberty to be like, I don't want to engage with this, so I won't, and that's that. You know, other people don't really have that, so, I don't know. It's a tricky thing. And it hasn't been bothering me as much lately, but there is, I think back like when the Black Lives Matter stuff was really happening, it was like a lot. It happened a lot. Not that I don't support that shit, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's just really easy to go on the internet and feel like shit, which probably everybody knows at this point. So I've rambled about the internet and how it's bad for a while, and now I've collected all of the bugs, or all the light, and Link just gets attacked by multiple enemies at the same time. I swear I don't remember that bird being there, like, the first few times that I played this game. I don't know where that fucking bird came from. So maybe I should take a break and talk about the game for a second. I guess like a quick break right here since we're just watching this owl talk to me. Something I noticed while I was recording this video is that, like, obviously I love this game, it's one of my absolute favorites, but sometimes you just really realize how unpopulated it is, and it's like, that's understandable because, you know, they can't take 1,000,000 hours of development and just have, like, a bunch of people randomly walking around or whatever, you know, it's not a big open world like Breath of the Wild is. But it's like, there's nobody in Kakariko Village. Now, granted, they're dead, the Twilight beast killed them, but, like, it's literally just, like, Barnes, Renato, and his daughter, and then, like, the Orden kids, who don't originally live here. So it's like, you know, there's, like, nobody in this village, fucking, at all. And as we'll see later, well, and we've already seen, that there's, like, very few people in Orden Village, and it's like, that's understandable. It's, you know, it's out the fucking sticks, like, there's not gonna be a bunch of people out in a rural area. But there's just, like, so few people, and it's just, like, a few families, and again, obviously due to the, you know, you don't want to spend 1,000,000 hours in development and all the space in the game just full of random people, especially if they wouldn't contribute to anything, like, other than flavor text. It's just weird, there's no, like, fields, like, you can't, the only, like, farm area that you explicitly see is where you herd goats, and there's no, you don't see people working out in the fields. I feel like it's more noticeable if you read the manga, where there's, like, a bunch of people, and you do see people working in the fields, and there's other kids, and other people that live in the village, I would assume. Yeah, fuck you, Barnes. I only care about my daughter. But I don't know, it's just, like, this Kakariko Village is even less, like, populated than the Ocarina of Time one, and again, yes, they were dead, but, like, how many people would have been living there anyway? There's only, like, 4 or 5 houses and the shop. I hope the person that runs the shop didn't sleep there. I don't know. It's, like, if you think about it too much, it kind of starts feeling a little claustrophobic, because there's just no people. Because, like, also the hidden village later, all those people are gone. The one person that lives in that village is Impaz and all of her cats, which, the cats are great, love those cats, but they're not people. So yeah, the mines are all fucky, the Gorons got all angry with the people, they don't want you going up there, and the kids are safe, and they're happy the Link's here, and Barnes got Mike Wazowski'd, etc, etc, etc. Checking my notes here, so that's basically all of the shit that I came up with to talk in this video, and I'm only a little bit halfway done, so Godspeed to me! I feel like Kakariko Village is a good, like, home base. I feel like when I am playing this game and I need, like, a good stopping point. I don't want to just like save out in the middle of Hyrule Field or whatever. I usually warp back to Kakariko and just hang out. That's where I save. I think I read that sign outside this, like, just a couple seconds ago, because it has the word thoroughfare in it, which is not a very common word. And it's kind of weird that, like, they need, like, a sign to point at just, like, the middle part of the village, which is the whole village, pretty much. Ugh. Why am I hiccuping so much? I'm only drinking water. Can't touch this. Oh shit, you touched this. So, yeah, I gotta go on a little side quest, to do some sumo and get the iron boots, which are boots made of iron, in case you couldn't tell. Which, like, this, well, I mean, you'll see. I had an interesting time with sumo, because Bo is a fucker. Yeah, Renato's like, well, I could have stopped you before then, but I wanted to see you get your ass beat first. So, now you can go to the village. I guess. If you wanna. I saw a post recently that, someone saying that, like, they played this game and it made them gay, and they, like, portrayed Renato and Barnes as being a married couple, which I think is funny. Like, I don't know, just very, like, innocent, not really canon-changing gay twists on things. Like, why not have them be married, you know? They could be married. About to get this horse back, hell yeah. The weird, I don't know what the instrumentation on that song was there for a minute. There was like a note run that sounded almost like a keyboard. It was probably just like an ocarina or something. I don't know. I think I used to be smarter about like instrumentation and shit when I was actually in band, but that's not been a thing for years, so I don't know. My dad just messaged me a picture of my dog, which is fantastic. He's blue. Sploot has got to be one of the best animal-related terms, like, sploot. I mean, it's a good word. It's a good word, like, frigate and tugboat, and what are some other good words? Copacetic is a good word. Brevity is a good word. I have a D&D character named after her that probably won't be getting played anymore. Or maybe she will. Hell, I don't fucking know. I made my Tiefling Ranger Brevity. It's like an Adventures League character to be played at conventions and shit. And then my dad and I went to Winter Fantasy last year and then left. We bailed on our third adventure because of this fucking weird-ass parking garage that we were in that was like the only way you could get to the parking garage portion of this building was through this like Christian-y bookstore or something. Oh, by the way, I like this bit here where Uku is like, my son, he'll help you like an item would be. And he's a nice boy, and he's an item. He's standing, he's a character. And there's a little bit here where I forget how to control the game. So I'm like trying to get off Epona, and I'm just not doing it. There's a bug I'm trying to get. Anyway, yeah, like, we parked in this parking garage, and the only way you could get into this building, like, on foot, not, like, driving in your car, but, like, if you want to go in and find your car afterward, you had to go in through this, like, little area. There's, like, this door, and then there would be another door that led into the Christian-y bookstore, and then there was, like, a little hallway thing that led to the, elevators, and I would also assume a stairwell. But so we like left, my dad and I, we left to get Subway, and then we were gonna go eat it in my dad's car, and it was night, and the Christian bookstore had been closed, so the door leading to the area with the elevators was closed, like we could not get into this building. So the only way we could get into that parking garage, I think we like walked around the back of the building, like where we originally like drove in. But then like there was no way to get to where the cars would be. Like because I think we were parked at like the second or third level of the parking garage, and you just couldn't get there. So and there's nobody else in this building, like at fucking all. And there's like maybe 1 or 2 other vehicles on the first floor. I'll get to that. But so we had to walk up this like curved ramp, this like spiraling ramp. That had a sign in front of it that's like, don't walk up this, but we didn't have a choice, so we were just like hoping that we didn't get caught and get in trouble for it. And then we go up to this like higher tier of this parking garage, and we start seeing numbered vehicles, like police cars, I think. Like undercover police cars. And like we didn't know where the fuck we were, and I don't remember exactly how, but eventually we found our way back to the truck, and instead of, like, trying to figure a way to go back and, like, do the adventure, my dad was like, let's just go home, because I don't know what we're gonna do if we can't get back to the truck. So we ended up leaving, and, like, nobody stopped us to, like, pay to park. So we got free parking. So that's nice, but, like, it was just fucking weird. And then we pulled off into a church parking lot to eat our Subway, and then we went home. So, that was an exciting tangent. It's thrilling. Thrilling adventures from missing your D&D adventures. I gotta say, though, convention, like, playing D&D at a convention is, like, it's fun, but it's, in my opinion, not the ideal way to play tabletop RPGs. Because, like, you can't really roleplay, and you're playing with people you don't know, and people that you will, like, never see again, probably. And that's, like, better if you can get into a situation where you play with the same table of people for, like, multiple adventures, which is what we got to do at Winter Fantasy the previous year. Well, 2019, to be more clear. But you have to, like, pay extra to do that. And, like, sometimes you just encounter people that just aren't fun to play with. Or, like, maybe they're a jerk. Or, like, maybe you don't like the DM. Or, like, maybe you just don't gel. Like, the dynamic isn't cool. Or you're like, wow, I wish I would have been playing my other character for this. Or whatever. We encountered somebody that was, like, I think he was still kind of new to D&D. So, like, I'll give him that excuse. But he was playing, like, a warlock. And this character's name was just EB, short for Eldritch Blast, and that's basically all he did the entire, like, anytime we had combat, that's, like, all he did. And it's like, dude, that's so boring. Like, you came all the way out here and paid money for your ticket, and all you're gonna do is just have a character named Eldritch Blast that casts Eldritch Blast. Like, come on, man. That's boring for me, and it's not even my character. I don't know. I'm more into, like, role-playing stuff. Like, not that combat isn't fun, and you can incorporate roleplay into it, but it's, like, it's hard to do that if you're not comfortable being around new people, and I'm usually not. So, I feel like playing at a convention is, like, a good way to get introduced to D&D if you're kind of new to it, or if you're just, like, desperate to play any D&D at all. You know, or if you want to go out and meet new people. But for me, I'll go, but it's like, meh. That dude made a weird noise. And then I accidentally talked to him again, because I'm trying to roll off this platform, ledge. I don't know, this is a weird architecture of this village. Doesn't really make sense in real life. So, that guy, I don't know what his name is, I don't remember, but he says, like, you gotta go tell the others, you have to let them know. And then go find, what's her name, Uli here, I think? Yeah, she's like, I heard you were safe and sound. And I'm like, bitch, how? Do you have phones? Did that guy just text you? Or did Sarah in the shop, was she like, yo, Link's here, LOL, the kids are good, love you. You know, like, how did she hear about that? Bitch, you're in your house. You're too pregnant to hear things. I don't know what that means. And she's like, bitch, you stole my sword. That's my baby's sword. I'm going on a tangent. I'm checking Discord messages. I'm trying to record this, like, right before my roommate gets back from work, so I have to, like, make sure she's not just being like, you're waiting outside until you're done. Even though she does have this habit of, like, sitting out and just chilling on her phone in the car after she gets back for a while, so. I don't know. Here's this man just staring at his hose. Why is my, like, computer, the fan started sounding weird for a second. That's a fix! Oh, and it's time for the best part of coming back to this village, this little segment here. Which is, you don't need to do it, by the way, but I felt like I should show it. Puppy! What a good boy! He's just so fucking jazzed to see me. Can't pet the dog, but you can pick up the dog. Which is fantastic, and more than you can do in Breath of the Wild. You can't pet the dogs in Breath of the Wild. It's stupid. And there's no cats in that game either. Talking to this lady while holding her dog. You know, as you do. As you do. That's what I would do if I were in Link's position. And then you can put the dog and just trap him on this table. He can't get out. He's trapped forever. Oh shit. Okay, my roommate's back, so I'm gonna be weird. Why bitch about sumo wrestling with Bo? Also got warm again, and I'm like sweating. And when I turn the air conditioning on, it runs for like 3 seconds. Because the temperature control in this apartment doesn't make any sense. Like it'll be, like the what do you call it? The thermostat will turn, it'll say like, it's like 55 in here. And then I'll have that heat set to 75. And then if my room is closed, that shit runs for like 5 minutes. And then it runs forever if I left the door open. But I don't know. I'm so glad that it's warm now, but also I'm sweaty. Do I have any other interesting shit written in this journal that I'm willing to talk about? Probably not. So, Bo's talking to himself about how to be a good mayor. Which you'd think he would be aware of, considering the fact that he's Bo years old. So, why they decided to include sumo wrestling in this game, I don't know. It's an interesting prospect. And, I mean, it could have been as simple as somebody in the dev team was like, would it be cool if you could sumo wrestle Gorons? And everyone was like, fuck yeah. But first you gotta sumo wrestle Shirtless Bo, which is just, drinking those polygons. Not a fan of Bo. Don't like him. As you'll see, there's going to be a sped up segment here because round 2 of sumo I got my ass kicked. For reasons unknown. No, actually they're known. It's fucking RNG. I wonder what words they're saying when they are saying things. The announcer. Like, I mean, maybe he's just saying ready, fight, but I don't know anything about actual sumo. There are many things of which I don't know anything about. Such as sumo wrestling, engineering, computers, a fucking lighthouse, Bjork. Okay, just started quoting Gale. So the sped up like drum sound effects in the background, they sound like rain. Like off of your gutter or whatever. Really, all the sound effects sped up at 4 times speed, you're just good. So yeah, Bo whooped my butt, kicked my ass with those polygons of his. Also shirtless Link, which I recall one of my friends in middle school being like, oh my god, he's so cute, he's shirtless, hee hee hee, and now she's a lesbian, so. You know, that's just how things go sometimes. Yeah, get fucked, Bo. Your stupid weird tusk, facial hair, and your weirdly shaped head. What were they going with the design of this man? Like, what the fuck? He's got this, like, weird lump, like, mountain-shaped head with, like, a little dent in the front part of it, and then these tusks. Like, is it a beard? It can't be teeth. That would make him, like, an orc. I don't think Bo was an orc. This good bit of dialogue. You can probably tell those boots are made of iron. Thanks. I totally couldn't tell, actually. Yeah, don't tell Renato. I like how his secret to winning sumo wrestling is just cheat. Which, to beat Bo, you kind of basically might as well have to. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Next time I'm gonna be herding goats for a heart piece, and I'm probably gonna look up all the, like, other heart pieces and golden bugs that I can get at this point, so. And then starting Goron Mines. I love you, bye.